Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for tonight's match are Rachel Blago, Grayson Leo, Jordan Hines, and Mark Ebenheiser. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for tonight's opponent, Racing Louisville FC. Starting in goal, number 0, Amira Hendrick. Number 4, Trista Morris. Number 5, Hadley Snyder. Number 9, Taylor Morris. Number 13, Mia Lancaster. Number 14, Courtney Jones. Number 15, Grace Maddox. Number 16, Ava Hendrick. Number 17, Anna Grace Gibson. Number 19, Mason Smith. Number 23, Vina Davey. And the head coaches of Racing Louisville FC are Sean Francis and Kylie Cole. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the starting lineup for your Indy 11. Starting in goal, number 0, Emily Edwards. Number 2, Emma Johnson. Number 5, Riley Boyd. Number 9, Reese Sohaki.
We welcome you to the great indoors here inside of Grand Park and Westfield for a 5th season of Indy 11 W League action on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network. First of 5 home games, the other 4 will be in the month of June. It is a very familiar foe for the Indy 11. It is Racing Louisville's W League Academy that serves as the opponent tonight. Tonight's match on the ISC Sports Network is brought to you in part by Desnuda. Desnuda 100% organic tequila, how real tequila tastes. And by AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. Alongside Kristen Hazley, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kristen, welcome back for your 2nd year as our primary analyst. And one of the things that we will certainly notice from last year's team is a lot of familiar faces. Last year was kind of the year where this team got younger and kind of hit the reset button. It was the first time they did not make a postseason berth. They're trying to rectify that this time around. But this team is a year older, and we hope a year better.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you love about this roster is you saw a few players last year, Lauren Adams from Purdue. Now there's 3 or 4 Purdue players. Same thing. We had a few Notre Dame players. You get 3 or 4 more Notre Dame players on the team. That just increases the speed that you can work up that chemistry and team cohesiveness, and that's important. And like you said, a quick W League season.
It is kind of a best of both worlds scenario. You have players that were born and raised here that have kind of played their way up the system. Players like Emma Johnson, who is now playing at Penn State, like Reese Sohaki, who is now playing at Xavier. Mackenzie Crewer from Roncalli, who redshirted at Michigan State this past year. But you also get players that play their college soccer in this state that are not from here, but we're going to see them. And one of the ones that stands out to me tonight starting 11 is Abby Mills. She has been a 2-year starter at Notre Dame. She is from Texas. We'll see her make her Indy 11 debut tonight.
Yeah, and she has been an impressive force on that Notre Dame roster. Started in their starting lineup from the beginning of her freshman year. Led that Notre Dame team to an NCAA tournament berth and has started all 4 of those tournament games. Definitely brings some experience, someone you're excited to see with this group, and especially when you talk about someone in that back line.
We'll quickly step aside. We'll come back with the starting lineups and opening kickoff, again, from the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus as you're watching Indy 11 Women's Soccer.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand, from stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel, turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Drop Off. Fuel for brave brands.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey & Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Yeah, whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Just moments away from the start of the W League season. This is not just the first match for the Indy 11. This is the first for the 4 teams in the Valley Division. When the Indy 11 first began playing at this level some 4 years ago, there were 40-something teams across the country. Now there are 96 teams that compete in the W League. There are 16 divisions. This is just a 4-team division in the Valley, so this will be a familiarity breeds contempt sort of thing. It is Indy, it is Racing Louisville, it is Toledo who is in this division for the first time, and it is the Dayton Dutch Lions. There are the divisional standings, which are brought to us by our friends at AES Indiana. Again, we are the first game out of the chute. The next time we broadcast a match on June 7th, that will look completely differently. Starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Ford dealers. They're a proud sponsor of Indy 11 Soccer. Goalkeeper today is Emily Edwards. She has been the starter the last 2 years at Purdue. The back line, Mackenzie Crewer, Blair Satterfield, Chloe Breck, and Sherry Yu. Midfielders, Taylon Guthrie, Abby Mills, and Emma Johnson. And up front, Nicole Jadoin, Riley Boyd, and Reese Sohakian. Of all the local ties we talked about, Kristen, how about Blair Satterfield and Riley Boyd, who were part of last year's Hamilton Southeastern High School State Championship? Both going to play at IU coming up in the fall and playing for the Indy 11 this spring.
Yeah, for us, it's a familiar sight. We were lucky enough to have that call, a brilliant game that saw Riley Boyd net that game winner for Hamilton Southeastern. And you said it, 2 local products that are going to go on and play at a high stage. And we're excited to see them at this level and see how they stack up against some really, really good Division I talent.
Many thanks to our ISC Sports Network career producer in Charlie Hammock. Again, we'll have all 5 home Indy 11 matches, and fingers crossed, any home playoff matches as well. We got accustomed to that in 2022, 23, and 24. Hope to return to that in 2026. Thanks for joining us for Season 5 of Indy 11 Women's Soccer here on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network. And let's start by the fact that normally we're happy about playing indoors. This time here it's going to be kind of warm outside. We're kind of happy to be playing indoors because it's chilly today outside. Temperatures in the 50s. Outstanding crowd as we have come to expect here inside of the Community Health Network Events Center.
I didn't want to jinx us, but I did check the weather on the way in. No storms in the vicinity, so for this home opener this year, we should hopefully keep power for the entire match.
What Kristen is referring to is that last year's home opener was a bit aborted because of a tornado warning that happened in Hamilton County right about the time of kickoff. By the way, our first 10 minutes of first half action presented by our friends at Desnuda. Desnuda, 100% organic tequila, how real tequila tastes. Pressure being applied by Racing Louisville's W League Academy, and obviously Racing Louisville has a franchise in the NWSL. Obviously on the men's side, they are a chief rival of the Indy 11 USL Championship, but they're also one of the OGs. They have had a team in the W League since it formed 4 years ago. And so this is Familiar territory for these two teams to be squaring off. And the way that it will work, you'll play 9 matches in the division this year. You'll play everybody 3 times. Again, it's an odd number. But the good news for the Indy 11 is they will play 5 of their matches at home. First touch off of Chloe Brecht for the Indy 11. Throw in coming for the visitors in Racing Louisville. Chloe about to be in her 3rd year at Butler University. She was 3rd team All Big East last year. 2 goals and 4 assists. She is from Powell, Ohio. First time we have seen Chloe playing for the girls in blue. And as you can tell by the multitude of lines, a lot of things happen inside of this building. There was a time we would see a combination on the ISC Sports Network of W League soccer and ultimate frisbee. The football lines are down a little bit early. Old school team in Indianapolis called the Indianapolis Capitals have been resumed in the Continental Football League, and they'll be playing matches here over the course of the next few weeks. Of course, this will also be the final summer of this being the training camp home of the Indianapolis Colts before they move all operations to their 24/7, 365 headquarters on West 56th Street. Good pressure being applied by Racing Louisville so far. Throw in coming here for the Indy 11. Satterfield will take it as we approach minute number 4.
And early on, it looks like Louisville comes out in a 3-5-2. You're going to look for them to try and dominate possession in the midfield.
Trying to find that through ball. The target there was Riley Boyd. And again, we mentioned she's one of the 2 players from Hamilton Southeastern, part of last year's 3A state championship squad. And the luxury, frankly, you have in this area is that the club soccer is so good and so close, you can still play for your high school team kind of around your club schedule. Hamilton Southeastern played 23 and won 22 last year, including the state championship 1-0 over Carmel, in a match that Krista and I were a part of at the home of the Indy 11 men, that being Carroll Stadium on the campus of IU Indianapolis.
That was a great game, excellent match, and we saw some really good high school soccer at those state finals, and you're just going to continue to see that level rise, which feeds into what we're watching right now with this USLW League team.
And that will be a ball that trickles into touch off the feet of Riley Boyd. Again, she is bound for Indiana University. Kristen touched on it, but we have players from the 4 largest Division I schools, if you will, in the state. Indiana, Purdue, Notre Dame, and Butler. I know it makes Joe Gentry smile to make sure that Butler is now included in those days, as if he was sitting right next to us during the broadcast, the head of marketing and communications for the Indy 11.
On the other side, you see a lot of University of Louisville players, a lot of local Louisville players. We have a few University of Louisville players as well.
This has always been kind of a derby,
right.
An inter-squad scrimmage for some U of L players. Jadoyan is of that group that's playing for Indy this summer. Always thought that part of that was the Carson Cherry and Addie Chester connection from the early days of the team.
That's fair enough.
The Indy 11 women went 5-5 last year after having won their division each of the last 3 years. Kings Hammer, which is not fielding a team in the W League this season, won last year's division crown. And Lexington, of course, has a team in the Gamebridge Super League, also is not fielding a team in this group this year. So Toledo joins us. Nothing much to talk about yet from a possession standpoint, frankly, in either direction.
No, and early on, that's almost a bit of what you expect, especially from this Indy 11 group. Well, there's a lot of returning faces. This is a bit of a new combination of lineups. Kruger was in your back line last year, but she's surrounded by 3 new players as far as the starting lineup goes. So really going to take a moment for them to find some cohesion here.
Here is Sohaki, and Sohaki has played for the Indy 11 in a variety of years. The offside flag does go up. Good to see Reese back here. Reese kind of played a combination of club and high school soccer. Played at Chittard High School her senior year. Dad Joe's involved with the Indy 11. Dad Joe's involved in everything from a local soccer standpoint. Plays a role in Butler's program as well.
Yeah, it was good to see her on this squad last year, getting some minutes here and there, and she actually netted one at a home game last year, so it's good to see her starting. I think she's just going to continue to develop as a goal scorer.
Foul whistle against Racing Louisville. And Reese and Emma Johnson both played really as kind of 14, 15, 16-year-old players at times with kind of an older Indy 11 group. And again, kind of that group, the Barr, Dewey, Katie Soderstrom, of course, now married and a mom. Congratulations, Katie. That group is kind of aged out a little bit, and now this is kind of a younger squad. Ball steered in, but the turf bounce is always something you got to consider, but a relatively easy play. First quasi-threatening moment for the Indy 11. Goalkeeper is Amira Hendrick. That's in net tonight for Racing Louisville. Bit of a quirky schedule for the Indy 11. They'll play this first game at home. Their next 4 are on the road, and then their final 4 games all back here. So future dates to watch the Indy 11 women this season: June 7th, June 10th, June 13th. So 3 matches all in 7 days. And then June 24th is the final regular season contest. When Indy has had the ball here, Racing has not been shy about applying pressure.
No, and that's part of that 3-5-2 that they look to be in. That frees up your forwards to really pressure without being too concerned about what they're giving up, because there are 5 midfielder players behind them.
Ball finds Chloe Brecht. Tries to cut that ball to a teammate, but plays it directly to an opponent instead. And neither goalkeepers had to do much at this point in time. Satterfield out to apply pressure for the Indy 11.
Love the patience early on. It's a great win by Satterfield in a dangerous position. She just plays the way she faces, uses that drop, and now they can combine out into the midfield.
That was off the boot of Taylin Guthrie, and she is a new face to the Indy 11. She is actually from the St. Louis area, from Edwardsville, Illinois, and she is a freshman to be at Pittsburgh. So she'll play in the ACC, and he couldn't connect the pass here, and a throw-in coming for the visitors from Racing Louisville.
Yeah, she'll go play for one of the OG legends, especially from this state, former Notre Dame coach Randy Waldrum. Spent some time in the NWSL as well and found his way back to the college game and the ACC, conveniently enough.
Bit of a nervy ball that time played by Mills, but may lead to a good opportunity here, except the flag goes up on Sohaki.
Man, she's got the speed there too. She can just keep that run timed. She's looking like she can get that touch on that and have a look at the net.
Sohaki scored 2 goals in 12 minutes. She was kind of a depth piece. She'd get minutes as a substitute, playing for Xavier last year. Of course, Indy 11's had a lot of Xavier players over the years as well, playing for this squad. I think if that ball had gotten through, the flag would have popped up. It did not, and we play on. First real attack down the left flank, and our first corner of the match.
It's a fantastic run down the end line there, and great job to get the set piece. I think in these early game, set pieces can play such a vital role when you're talking about trying to find some combinations early on. Sometimes a free kick is all you need.
So corner coming from the far side. Good service. Boyd was the target, and we will do the corner again.
Time to get loud, fans. It's a corner kick for your Indy 11.
Again, bending ball in. Racing got ahead there first. I think it's going to be a corner in the opposite direction, yes.
Try it from the other side.
By the way, this 10 minutes of action brought to us by our friends at AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. Welcome to the quirks of our setup here. We can just barely sneak in the corner flag from our perch high atop the Community Health Network Event Center. Sometimes the look is better here. A little training ground action there from the Indy 11, trying to play that as a short ball. Racing Louisville gets there first, and go all the way back to Emily Edwards. Edwards has spent time over a couple of different periods with the Indy 11. And she played 1 year at Pittsburgh, has been the starter each of the last 2 years in goal for Purdue. And that clearance will go over to field 3.
Yeah, Edwards.
Middle of a 3-field complex here indoors. We got extra soccer balls for that reason. And the reset button hit. Here's Kruer. Kenzie, a remarkable story. Again, we can have this debate about should you play high school soccer, should you play club soccer? Well, during the soccer season, she played a different high school sport and won a state championship in it. She was an outstanding volleyball player at Roncalli. So she would play club soccer and play high school volleyball. How awesome is that?
And I'll tell you what, being a high school volleyball player at Roncalli, that is a big deal there.
Won 2 state championships the last couple of years. And the third of the 4 classes in terms of school size in the state of Indiana. But frankly, they would have been a good chance to have won the 4A championship, but they played at them the last couple of years. Good switch of the attack here for Indy. Indy 11 growing into the match. Put the ball into a dangerous spot, just nobody there to kind of connect the dots for Indy.
And you called out a great switch there. Switch of the field really stretches out that formation, which is where Indy 11 can try and find those weak spots kind of behind those wing backs of the 5 in the midfield.
In the numbers game, 3-5-2 for Racing. 4-3-3 for the Indy 11. Good supporting run being made here. Jadoin with a left foot. How about the bend on that one? Good effort from 20-something yards out again. She is from Massachusetts, but plays at U of L. Had 2 goals and assists, 19 matches played, 5 starts. She got about 35 minutes a match playing for the Cardinals last year. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's a nice touch to the left foot by Jadoin, and just does a nice job of finding the window there through the 2 defenders. Not anything too difficult there for Hendrick, but it's good to get a shot on goal early on in this match.
Well, again, where Louisville has been at their best has been when they've been able to crank up the pressure. When Indy can kind of break through the pressure, they're getting opportunities. Foul going to be whistled against the visitors.
And right now, they're absolutely finding that. It's early, quick transitions. They're not letting the ball sit too much in the center of the park, trying to move it, find those angles, and quickly before Louisville can rotate and put that pressure on.
Good work by Blair Satterfield. You and I are fortunate to work in the space of both soccer and basketball, which is apropos for the Satterfield family, since Blair's dad has been a high school basketball coach in this area for a quarter of a century. Coached both the boys and the girls teams at Hamilton Southeastern. Is the flag going to come up here? Yes. Just couldn't time the run properly. Could Emma Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson looked to be about a step off from our angle here, but we are a bit behind. AR there on it, looked like she was off, and just a bit early on the run there.
Again, you got to have line of sight of the play, not of the AR. And you and I both was kind of, she's going to be offside. Didn't time the run.
Yeah, and you see there just a millisecond. It could be as little as just a bit of a big touch there from, it was Brecht on the end there.
Flag goes up, and this is where we point out, these players all play at a high level. They've been together for about a week. And so everybody's trying to figure out how to time the run and things like that. And so you've seen a couple of rather obvious offside flags the last times up and down the pitch.
Yeah, and early on, you see Hockey there just talking to those other forwards, letting them know, hey, if I'm coming under, you overlap this way. It's just those little pieces that really create those opportunities.
Now, because these 2 teams are so well established, a lot of these players played together in club soccer, you know, from an academy standpoint here from the Racing Louisville perspective. So again, there's a bit more knowledge for some of these players, but for some, this is the first time they have played together, and so you're going to have those kind of missteps like that.
Yeah, it's an excellent point. Both of these clubs have very established youth academy programs. Obviously, Indy 11 here at Graham Park, Racing Louisville down in Louisville, but you're exactly right. A core of these teams grew up either playing together or playing together up at a higher level.
Extended possession here, and again, flag stays down this time. Now can you win the 1v1 battle against Satterfield? Satterfield digs in. Ball is still active. Again, not enough contact to draw a whistle. Indy 11. Thought that was frankly a neutral ball, but the speed on display of the Indy 11 means this isn't neutral at all. Now you play the sideways ball when a teammate is there.
I get a little peek there at why Randy Waldrum called Guthrie just a goal-scoring machine there. That speed and her ability to read the ball really coming together there.
Hadley Snyder was back to make the defensive play for Racing Louisville's W League squad. Outstanding run here, better tackle, Kruer. And she redshirted at Michigan State, but she played, frankly, as many minutes as seemingly anybody did for the Indy 11 last year. Had a bit of a three-car pileup, no whistle given, and now it'll be a whistle called against the visitors.
And it's interesting to think, in this day and age of transfer portal soccer, obviously by this point in the year, most of these collegiate players have already made a decision of where they're playing next year. But you start to think about some of those relationships that are formed between, collegiate players, club players, teammates. And then this summer period is also when college coaches don't have their own teams to be occupied with. So it gives them another chance to get out and see who is available in the portal.
Jadoin. Love the idea for the left foot, even though she didn't find a teammate. Her skills have been on display here early in this match. And of course, the big news, and it's not official yet, it has one more clearance step to go through, but the NCAA announced, this has been talked about, at least the Division I level for some time. It's going to start on the men's side. Not this coming year, but next. Again, pending one more board review in June of a 2-semester season for Division I men's soccer. Opportunity here. Sahaki trying to get a boot to it. Then pulled back, left foot doesn't get through. That's from Emma Johnson. But the heat map of this match is starting to shift towards this end of the park. Another good read. That's Brecht. Really like what Jadoin does on the turn. And again, I think that was more of a cross, but she would have claimed credit if it had gone in. Goal kick coming.
Yeah, that's twice down that right side. Jadoin's just been able to beat the defender. First time as a cutback you saw her with the left. That time off the right. Both of them fantastic balls into the box.
I want to thank our ISC Sports Network. Our director is Charlie Hammock. Kate Johnson on graphics tonight. Thanks to Olivia Warren, Matt Battiato, and the world tallest cameraman, David Jones, on the sticks below us. Thank you, guys and gals. Getting alongside Kristen Hazley, Greg Rakestraw with you. First match of the Valley Division season. First match of Season 5 of the Indy 11 women's squad. Indy will forever have the honor of having played the first match in W League history. May of 2022, a 3-1 win against Kings Hammer. There's a couple of matches in this building from the Indy 11 women's perspective that stand out. Obviously the first one, but also that semifinal against San Francisco the next year, which then led to the championship match, a victory against North Carolina Courage's U23 team, another team with obvious NWSL ties, and a soccer-rich area in the Triangle, the Raleigh-Durham area. That was in front of 5,400 fans and Michael A. Carroll downtown.
It was a fun summer, really lit the soccer community on fire. That women's team did.
Keeper's got to come out, and she got the benefit of the turf bounce. I understand she couldn't play with her hands past that line, but she could have played it with her feet. She started backpedaling.
Yeah, back in my day, that would have been nervy. These days,
pressure applied here. I'll let my partner talk about her college goalkeeping days when the moment allows. Johnson really good on the ball. Guthrie with the left foot, shot blocked. Tell you what, I love the speed of thought of this group, Kristen.
Yeah, that top front three especially already really combining well, reading each other well, and creating that spacing. Sometimes outside of the box, you really get too tight, and they're doing a nice job of keeping that spacing and finding each other.
And opening moments of this match really belonged to Racing Louisville. Indy 11 has kind of wrestled control away, but obviously nothing separating these teams just yet. Well, Indy's been kind of knocking on the door. Really haven't had any threatening shots yet.
No, but you do like that they're creating the opportunities for it. I've seen a few shots on goal, a couple off frame as well, but you like the idea that they're creating these movements forward.
Doing a good job of playing into space. The Satterfield will track this one down on the far side. Satterfield gets the cross away, but Racing Louisville had it covered.
It's a great cross, though, by Satterfield. That's exactly what you're looking for in that situation. Just want to put something low with pace into that 6 and hope something good happens.
Restart coming for Indy. Foul whistled against the visitors. Guthrie in the midfield. Shadoin trying to get, she's already got past 2 defenders and tried to take on 2 more. Guthrie has a window, gives it a hit. And Guthrie just puts it up and over. And again, there's a variety of lines, there's a variety of nettings, and you kind of got to read the tea leaves. She didn't miss that by much.
No, and I tell you what, early on, the idea is you take another look at Guthrie's shot here with the right foot. It was dipping just almost a little bit late over that top.
I was checking my eyes there for a second, going to make sure I was reading it properly.
I tell you what, that top 3 combo of Sohaki, Joydon, and Guthrie, that is going to be fun to watch. You've seen the speed as well as the technical ability early on.
Opportunity here. Flag remains down. A couple of defenders get behind the play. Here's a look that, again, splits the uprights, which is not what you're looking to do. It'll be a shot, but not one on target. Courtney Jones let that one fire. This portion of the match is brought to us by our friends at Desnuda. Desnuda 100% organic tequila. How real tequila tastes. One of our great partners with the Indy 11, thanks to our friends at Desnuda. Guthrie is going to earn some pretty immediate playing time, I think, in her days at Pitt. On the cross.
A great little combination there. You see the speed of Riley Boyd through the midfield combines with Guthrie as they try and get forward. Just couldn't quite put it all together, but again, you're just seeing the little glimpses here and there of why some of these players are so special and playing at the programs that they are.
And again, there are players that you won't see tonight that are just getting done with their semesters. Frankly, there have been tighter turns in previous years. The first year that Indy played, I think they had 2 practices. And it was kind of, hey, who can be here? Okay, that's the lineup tonight. Flag does go up. Just being a bit offside that time for Racing. It was Fina Davey. But just didn't time the run. Not that our ARs need any help, but again, with all the lines, all the hash marks, you can be almost like having laser precision timing on
You just got to line it up right, and you get your own VAR line.
Ball knocked forward. And our friends in Louisville can understand that now because of Lynn Family Stadium, playing host to the American tackle variety of football for the first time, with the Louisville Kings now playing in the United Football League.
Yeah, it has even made its way up this way on social media and whatnot. I've seen a few things about the Kings.
Good looking ball here. Great recovery, even if it is a corner. Snyder did not lose possession, so that's, again, you'll give the corner there. Job well done, but Jadoin's been fun to watch.
Yeah, she is early on showing her speed. Not only the technical ability, we saw her have some tough touches, but her strength on the ball as well. She was able to get through one defender to get a shot off. That time just putting the pressure on to win the corner.
4th corner coming for the Indy 11. Looks like Sahaki will be taking this one, with Guthrie as her option short. Right idea by Crewer, just couldn't get ahead to it. Sherry Yu, we have not had a chance to reference her. She is from Kansas. She plays at Purdue. Playing along the back line tonight.
And I like that combination of her with Kruger. They're similar styles of players. Both tall, both can win balls in the air, but they're both extremely technical as well, which is what you're looking for in someone like a center back or even a holding midfielder to really combine into the midfield.
You has been listed as more of a player kind of up top, but playing a little bit further back tonight. The centers tonight for the Indy 11 do not lack for height. Ball played across. Does not find its intended target.
Almost snuck its way through to Sahaki, and you just love the effort of her to recover, get behind the ball, and now they almost had him pinned deep there.
Mia Lancaster did a nice job to drag that back from any defender to maintain possession. But now, Boyd. Guthrie. "27 minutes in again. Possession favoring the Indy 11. Contact there, but not enough in it. Tell you what, the midfield and back line have done a great job of reading passing lanes so far for Brandon Kim's squad.
Absolutely, and that's one of the advantages of a 3-5-2 is you just have triangle angles built in general. And so the fact that Indy 11 has been able to take that away early on is a big win for Brandon Kim's squad, especially on the defensive end.
Brandon, in his second year as the W League coach for the Indy 11, was an assistant to Paul Dolinsky for each of the first 3 seasons. Foul whistled against Abigail Mills. I want to thank our friends at Ford, one of the presenting sponsors of Indy 11 Soccer. Visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Edwards has been largely a spectator.
Yeah.
Took advantage of the opportunity to snag that and not let any sort of opportunity develop. Giveaway that, again, because possession has been so short-lived as of late, Racing kind of pressed a shot that they probably didn't need to.
Yeah, and you felt that in the possession right before that as well when you saw Hadley Snyder there play the long ball over the top. Edwards easily cleaned it up, read it, but that's that frustration of you just wanting to get that ball forward. Again, credit Indy 11's pressure and possession in the midfield.
Indy trying to convert that speed against that high press of Racing Louisville. How about that for picking up the possession? Jadoin, right idea, just couldn't make the turn. Everything up to about the 18-yard box, you like what you're seeing from the Indy 11.
Absolutely. They're moving the ball into that attacking third multiple different ways. We've seen them combine in the midfield. We've seen Riley Boyd and her speed out of the midfield. We've also just seen them carrying the ball as well. So really, that's part of why they're having a lot of success right now is they're doing multiple different things into the attack.
On the cutback, and Sahaki not on the same page there. Solid crowd on hand for this opener. Again, there's that read from the back row. Just a bit behind Jadoin. She's going to tee it up anyway. And again, just put it up and over the bar.
Jadoin again. All the confidence in the world from there, and why not? I mean, we've already seen in this first 30 minutes of her as an Indy 11 player, we love how involved she's getting. We love how strong she is on the ball, especially the confidence that time. Almost finds the back of the net.
I'm kind of curious as to who was playing in front of her up top at U of L last year. She's pretty good. Of course, that's, again, a really good program year in, year out.
Yeah, take another look here again. It's just, that's Guthrie's look at it. That was the one over the top there.
Well, back to action. Ball played across. One touch trying to find a window. Can Johnson cut it back? She does, but right into the hands of the goalkeeper and Hendrick. So again, while the action kind of tilted in favor of the Indy 11, as long as the scoreboard is equal, that's really all that matters from the Racing Louisville perspective. Again, there's that read from the back. The defenders are emboldened. See ball and go get it.
That time easy for you just to step up there. They've done a nice job as well of controlling those second balls. and not letting Louisville out of that back line very easily at all.
Taylor Morris tracks over to check for Racing Louisville. And now it's Indy that's applying the pressure and doing so successfully. Where Indy has had a problem has been a turnover at the back. That's really what has generated any sort of look or chances these last 25 minutes for Racing.
And as you just said, as long as the score is 0-0, that's all that matters. So you've really got to be careful with that. Unless you build yourself a nice cushion, all it takes is that one moment or one mistake to go down 1-0.
Brack able to hustle over and track that down. Back to Edwards now, the goalkeeping core exceedingly strong for the Indy 11 this year. And Johnson wanting a foul, and she probably may have been the player that had committed said foul. She's probably better off the whistle wasn't blown. Headed back, and again, once that ball is inside of the 18, can be snagged as the Purdue teammates combine to stifle that opportunity.
The height of view there, just coming in handy, easily heads it back to Edwards, and you make the great point about the Purdue connection there. That's one thing that goes a long way in stepping into that team cohesion. If you've got a goalkeeper and a center back that are familiar with each other, your back line's in pretty good shape.
Cherry listed at 5'11", with McKenzie at 6'1". And that'll be whistled against the Indy 11. I want to thank our friends at AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. Appreciate you spending part of your Wednesday with us, wherever you might be watching from, whether you're on Sports Engine Play or on the ISC Sports Network. And alongside Kristen Hazley, my name is Greg Rakestraw, the voice of the Indy 11. Fifth season of Indy 11 W League Soccer begins tonight. Only home match of the month of May. The Indy 11 on the road now for the next couple of weeks. Will not be here in the friendly confines of the Community Health Network Event Center.
I know, I'd like to have a word with whoever set up that schedule. It's like we get a beautiful taste of soccer, summer, spring, ready to go, and then they go away for a little bit.
I'm a little busy in May. I'm okay with back a little bit soon. I'm fine with that. Opportunity here, just couldn't slide it through. 4v5 at the back for the Indy 11, and 5 is joining the fight. But that momentary hold by Johnson also brings more defenders back into the play for Racing. Flag should stay down here. Boyd gets a touch, plays it across to the middle, but defender there for Racing Louisville.
It's a great ball by Boyd, a great run as well, but this is where you've got to recover now.
Well, there are times when 0-0 is devoid of activity. That has not been the case tonight. It has been up and down the pitch. Just not a lot of shots on target created just yet. Love the one-touch football there. Quality distribution from the back by the Indy 11. Doing. Trying to find a teammate at the edge of the 18. Wasn't a bad idea. Guthrie has a hit. That one doesn't stay on target. Another goal kick coming.
Yeah, that time, first time you see him kind of go wide that time, find Jadoin. The cross back to the center of the 18. Guthrie does a nice job of getting that settled there. It just looked like her touch to the right foot. Bouncing just a little bit, elevated that shot a bit over the crossbar.
Connectivity's been impressive so far for the Indy 11.
Absolutely, they're doing a nice job. You see right now when they have the ball, how spread out that back four is. The three forwards are getting forward as that ball goes through.
Boyd just runs out of real estate to track that one down. This reminder, fans, show your Indy 11 pride. Get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today.
Racing Louisville really lacking creativity in the attack right now. And I think part of that you have to credit as to how well not only that front three, but the middle three for the 11 have defended. You mentioned them jumping in front of those passing lanes, really reading them well. It's forcing Racing to try and play very direct over the top.
Anna Grace Gibson was the player that took a bit of a hard tackle on that play. Foul called against the Indy 11.
Yeah, Anna Grace Gibson, they call her AG, another one of those Louisville products. Really an impressive youth player with the Racing Louisville program and scored 4 goals and 3 assists this last season for the Cards.
It used to be a day where Louisville soccer programs didn't even play on the main campus. Played out on the Shelby campus on the eastern end of town. And now Louisville's a soccer town, which is, as somebody that grew up in the western suburbs of Louisville, is it's a little amazing to me.
They came around about the same time you did to the sport, I think.
Ball play forward. Just trying to find that window to find a teammate. That's well defended by Racing. But there always seems to be a couple of 3 Indy 11 players behind the ball, but yet they're not sacrificing opportunities to keep those players back.
No, not at all. And it's part of that is because of how athletic your outside backs are, that gives you the freedom to play forward, leaving those 2 center backs. Sometimes, obviously, you're going to pull a third, but you've got the freedoms to spring forward and keep possession.
Trying to get that ball to the byline and play it back. Indy's had 4 corners already. Nothing has come from them. That will not be a corner, but a throw. And Satterfield will take it. Just trying to find that window through is the Indy 11. 3v3 here at the back, but Indy has owned the midfield in this match.
Abby Mills that time with the nice recovery run. She's been a big part early on as well.
Slides it through, right idea, just couldn't get it past the last Racing defender. That was Snyder. But he got back to track that down. It's a goal kick coming up here. For Brandon Kim, what is your message to your ladies at halftime?
Well, I think overall you're extremely pleased. Obviously, you created a majority of the chances on the offensive side of things. Defensive side of things, a few bobbles here and there, 1 or 2 giveaways that are maybe ill-advised, but hey, nobody's perfect, right? No harm, no foul. I think in general, you're pleased with how you're playing. One thing he's going to probably look to exploit a little bit is the space behind some of those mid-wing backs that Louisville plays with that 5 in the middle. I think there is some room there. You saw them starting to exploit it on the right as well as the left side. Can you find it a little more often and get some numbers in the box?
Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time, which I'm not sure we're going to have any, given how the speed at which and frankly how whistle-free this half has been. But anyway, our final 5 minutes of stoppage time brought to us by Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. been fun to watch, even if there's not been a lot of really threatening moments on goal. The speed and skill of this Indy 11 squad is noticeable.
It is noticeable, and it's fun because it's some new faces as well, some new combinations. It's almost like you're creating new favorites in real time as you watch this team come together and have some really positive moments early on.
Well, there's the tackle in soccer, then there's the American football tackle that Mills just gave. Restart is happening while a conversation is taking place, and yeah, that's going to come back. Yeah.
And great ball in, though.
I'm like, at some point in time, our center is going to realize, hey, the ball's about 40 yards in the opposite direction. And again, you're fine here, you're not fine there once you lose your balance and pull the player down with you, understandably a foul.
It's fair. Original tackle looked like she was probably going to be okay.
Right,
but
first
yeah.
one, it was gravity that was a problem on that play. Trista Morris was the player that slowly got taken to the turf by Mills. In the Notre Dame connection, it sounds pretty simple. Literally, the campus is 90 minutes from kind of where we are on the north side of Indianapolis, but the connection is even cooler. We'll talk about that when time allows. Ball to the edge of the 18, again, just trying to find a window. And that flag stays down. Guthrie. Johnson. Good couple of touches there.
Very composed in the back. They don't seem panicked, even when Louisville puts that pressure on with those two forwards. Just very impressive and confident performance from that back line so far.
Brewer content just to kind of step on it for a moment. Boyd, proper touch. Sahaki tries to play it through to Boyd. Again, the recovery, and the keeper can't get there in time. So will be another corner coming for the Indy 11, and maybe with kind of the dying embers of the half, maybe you can throw a couple of more numbers forward here.
Might as well. Beautiful little combination 1-2 there with Boyd and Sahaki. Excellent technical ability on display there as they try and keep it going. That last touch just a little long.
And those are players that have a combined 12 college matches between the two of them.
Could have fooled me.
Right, exactly. So corner coming. Indy has just two players outside of the box. So 7 of the blue and red clad players trying to go after this one. But the service will leave something to be denied. And we'll look towards the fourth official in terms of at most it'd be Ahmed. Again, I don't think it's going to be any. It's been such a free-flowing match, frankly. Nothing anywhere in the vicinity of card-worthy. And Edwards will back up and track this one down.
Ball girls have been on it. No long delays on the throw-ins.
And no 8-second issues in this one. Will be 1 minute that is added on. By the way, in the USL Championship, where that rule is new this year because of the way the schedule works versus the FIFA calendar. Make sure everyone's get that before I finish the thought. Actually saw that called on the keeper for the first time this past Saturday night in Jacksonville, where Indy got a corner kick out of that.
Oh.
Because the keeper did not clear. And I joked at the time, it's kind of like 3 seconds in basketball. You know, it's really going to be 9 or 10 minimum before that gets called. And it happened.
I would expect the BYB is going to be on that 8-second chant really quickly at any games at the mic.
Through ball here. Saki can't get to it, and effectively that should pretty much end half number one. Again, nothing gained for either side of the scoreboard. We'll have some halftime stats. Indy's frankly had the better of it, has had the better chances. but nothing to show for it just yet. And that's that. Again, I think a lot to be happy about if you're Brandon Kim. Just got to find a way to crack the code and get a better look on target. Through 45 minutes here at the Community Health Network Event Center at the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus. It is Indy 11-0 and Racing Louisville's W League squad 0. We'll take this quick timeout. Halftime coverage comes your way next as you're watching W League Soccer on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Welcome back inside of the Community Health Network Event Center here on the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you. Yes, now is the time to get your merch. By the way, speaking of merch, I think the family 4-pack deal that the Indy 11 are doing is the best ticket deal we have done in the history of the club. This is year 13 for the Indy 11 men. If you want to go to a men's match, 4 tickets, $49, free parking, $20 concession voucher, and 20% off of merch. You get your family 4-pack when you go to Indy11.com. We have a 4-pack of matches left to go in this building after tonight. The next one, not until June 7th. Next 4 are on the road. Kristen, your thoughts as to what we witnessed together in half number 1?
I think we saw a great first half. I think you saw the Indy 11 really pulling together a new group of players, an impressive front 3, that new back line with Matt Kruer being kind of that one returner. You're starting to see them really come together, figure out how to get forward offensively. And man, what a trio we just saw up front for the 11, and Sahaki, Dijon, and Boyd as well.
So again, Indy has had the better chances. Again, no sparkling saves were made, and frankly, the best couple of looks for Indy 11 both went across the bar. Opening 4 or 5 minutes, I thought kind of belonged to Racing Louisville. Again, when they could kind of sink into their press, when Indy had along the back line, that created some opportunities. Once Indy kind of broke through that a couple of times and Racing Louisville had to back up, Indy has seemingly dictated the match for the last 40 minutes. And again, if there is an area where I think Indy has shown a higher degree of being out in front, I am very impressed with the Indy 11's midfield in this match.
Yeah, it's been impressive. We talked about Abby Mills early on, one of those new anchors there in the midfield. And part of that is the tactical matchup that you look at, the 3-5-2 versus the 4-3-3. What Louisville wants to do with those 5 midfielders is clog it up, make it very difficult for the 11 to move the ball through the midfield. And I think that's intimidating when you first come out and you've got an overly crowded midfield. Now, once they started to figure out where those angles were, where the open space was behind some of those outside wingbacks for Louisville, that's where the confidence came. And from there, it's like they cracked the code and they knew how to get forward the rest of the half.
So again, the Indy 11 from the women's standpoint. Next 4 on the road. They are at Toledo for a Saturday afternoon match. Then they will play on race day on Sunday, May 24th at the Dayton Dutch Lions. They'll make their lone trip to Louisville to take on Racing on Wednesday, May 27th, and then play at Toledo on Wednesday, June 3rd. Home matches for the Indy 11 women will be here against the Dayton Dutch Lions Sunday, June 7th at 6 o'clock. And Racing Louisville is back here for their Wednesday date 4 weeks from now on June 10th, also at 7 o'clock. The Dayton Dutch Lions will be here on Saturday, June 13th at 7 o'clock. Then there's an 11-day gap until the finale of the regular season. That'll be against Toledo. That'll be Wednesday, June 24th. And again, hope to see you here at the Community Health Network Event Center and on the Drop Light Grand Park Sports Campus. Some of the Racing Louisville reserves getting ready for activity in half number 2. The Indy 11 squad will join them, I'm sure, in a matter of moments. But at the break, it is Indy 11-0. And the Racing Louisville W League squad at 0. We'll come back with some first half highlights, first half stats, and other general thoughts before we get you ready for half number 2. Scoreless on the north side of Indianapolis. Thank you for joining us on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Deep inside you, there's a spark waiting to be ignited, a yearning for a real connection, something that truly moves you. Find experiences that stir your soul in our new Kentucky home, where amazing nature and authentic bluegrass inspire you, where world-renowned bourbon and horses wow you. Kentucky, find what moves you.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey & Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
So back here in Westfield on the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus, Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you. Quick look at the first half stats. Shots for the Indy 11, 6-2 for Racing Louisville. However, for the Indy 11, those 2 shots for Racing Louisville did not get on target, and for the Indy 11, only 1 of their 6 shots were on target. Indy had 5 corners. There were none for Racing Louisville. Indy had 5 fouls. Racing Louisville had 3. The offside flag went up 3 times against Racing, went up 2 times against the Indy 11. Obviously, the big numbers are on your screen, 0-0 through 45. Kristen, of those secondary numbers, any of those really catch your attention?
Well, obviously, you look at shots on goal, but I think at the corners as well. I mean, that lopsided number, Indy 11 having 5, Louisville having 0, it means you defended well, you defended cleanly, and you didn't give them many looks at all on frame. And I think for Indy 11, it just shows how much they did dominate the possession and get the ball forward into their attacking third. I think we'll see that similar pattern continue on in the second half, especially if the 11 continue to attack out wide and really try and attack that space behind the midfield.
Of course, this season overlaps with the Indy 11 men's season, USL Championship. And this weekend's a pretty cool moment for the Indy 11 because for the first time in their 13-year history, they will take on a fellow professional side from the state of Indiana. It's the Victory and Liberty Derby. It is Indy versus Fort Wayne FC in their new palace in Northeast Indiana, the Ruoff Mortgage Center, which is still a bit of a work in progress, but yes, a soccer-specific stadium in which they are playing in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne has played in League 2 for the last several years. They're a fully professional side for the first time in League 1. Fort Wayne soccer legend Marcus Beasley is part of the ownership group. And that game is in the Prinks Tires USL Cup. You can go to ESPN Plus to watch that match coming up on Saturday night. It also marks the last road match for the Indy 11 until June. Starting next Saturday, the Indy 11 at home for 3 successive Saturdays. And a match against Lexington SC will start it all. You mentioned that family 4-pack. That and other great deals are available when you log on to Indy11.com. Give a call to the ticket office at 317-685-1100. Download the Indy 11 app, or as we're always want to say, kickoff's at 7 o'clock. Be there. We will find a place to put you in the stadium if you show up. The Indy 11 coming off their 3rd league win of the season, beating Sporting Jacksonville 2-1 on Saturday night. Indy currently on the proper side of the playoff cut line. This Saturday's match, again, is not a USL Championship match. This is a Prinks Tires USL Cup match, again, in Fort Wayne on Saturday night. And as always, for more information, go to Indy11.com. All right, Cheese, back to this match. What changes, if any, do you think or would you expect to see from Brandon Kim's squad in half number 2?
I think what you are going to look for is, one, what do those wingbacks do? It wouldn't surprise me if Louisville transitions to something a little bit more conservative. Maybe not a formation change, but they might not send those outside midfielders up quite as aggressively. What that means is they're going to pack some more bodies behind the ball, which means Indy 11 is going to have to look for a little bit more possession to break through into the attacking third. And on the defensive end, if they're going to hold those wing backs back, Louisville's going to look to go even more direct over the top, quickly transition, and try and catch some of those numbers out.
Scoreless after 45 minutes of soccer. We've got 45 more to go. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back and wrap it, or get you ready for half number 2 next. You're watching Indy 11 W League Soccer on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
This is Paul. He loves running, music, and DIY home projects. In fact, he's remodeling his kitchen thanks to a home equity line of credit from Indiana Members Credit Union. They connected him with a loan officer, got him approved at a great low rate, and made it easy for him to make his monthly payment from anywhere thanks to IMCU's digital banking. Looks like Paul can do it all with a little help from IMCU.
Training home of the Indy 11 and the Indy 11 Academy. The match has been played here. We had one playoff championship match, one regular season match that's been played kind of in conjunction with the men's match on the campus of IU Indianapolis. But again, this has been a wonderfully cozy home, other than the match that Christian referred to last year when there was an active tornado warning and power went out and there was no match for week number 1. Thanks for joining us here for Indy 11 W League Soccer on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network. And I'll make sure we thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you, Charlie Hammock. Thank you, Kay Johnson, Olivia Warren, Matt Badiato, and David Jones, making sure our signal gets to you wherever you might be watching from on this Wednesday evening. Both teams to take to the pitch in a matter of moments for half number 2. He goes right back at it to Toledo on Saturday afternoon. That is a new opponent for the Indy 11. Of course, travel restricted until you get to the playoffs in this league. And Knowing that these are pre-professional players. You will get the occasional former pro that will play at this level to try to keep their skills set to potentially sign another contract or simply to test their skills as long as they can. Indy has been the beneficiary of that many times over the years.
Ooh, we miss you, Grace Barr.
Throw Maddie's name in there too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole core.
He's going to have the first possession here of half number 2. Did not notice any substitutions. That is confirmed. Same 11 on both sides. And here we go. Sahaki will play it long and find a teammate immediately. That's Boyd. Boyd did not get the cross off without throwing that across the byline, so goal kick coming here for Racing.
That's just got a little bit away from her, but that ball directly from Sahaki is the one that they're looking for. That's the area where if they can exploit and really possess there, they start to get dangerous in that crossing game.
In this portion of the match brought to us by our friends at AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together, and that will be a throw coming for Indy. As Racing could not maintain possession before crossing into touch. And a foul called against Racing, and now this is, we haven't seen much. We've seen corners, we've not seen set pieces. This is really an opportunity for one here between the 18 and the touch.
Yeah, it's in a good enough position where you could potentially even take this right-footed, look to get a little bit of a bend in towards the net on that ball.
That's exactly what Sahaki's going to try to do here. Just a 2-player wall to work around, and again, I'm not sure her target might be closer to the top of the 18 more than anything else. Looking back post, headed down, but steered wide. Matt Kruer was up there trying to give that a run. And like we said, the centers today are 5'11" and 6'1". It's not hard who to pick out who you're going for, and both of those players are hanging right around the 6. Bit of a giveaway in the back as we showed you the replay. Nothing comes of it for the Indy 11.
It's a well-executed free kick, though. Exactly what you want. Your 2 tallest, probably best players in the air, far post, just can't find the back there.
A bit of a transitional moment here. And most of the shots have been from distance, frankly, for both sides in this match. Really, the 2 kind of looks that Racing had, both were taken from probably 20, 25 yards out.
Yeah, I think I would argue just that the 11s were a bit more testing, maybe. Edwards,
I would agree.
You know, kind of right at Edwards there, you started to look at, you know, some of the opportunities that we saw Talon Guthrie have, Riley Boyd as well, maybe from distance, but definitely a bit more threatening.
You know, I'm not the type that goes quarter chance, half chance, but I think it would be applicable in this case.
Fair.
The chances a bit more full and robust for the Indy 11 in the first half. Here's Trista Morris. From a Racing perspective, Satterfield applying pressure. Need to be a clean tackle. No handball. Tucked in. It's Kruer on the effort. Right idea. Was the pass weighted properly? Good enough. Whew. Boy, trying to find Mills, but it was kind of flat enough that allowed the defender time to close the window and react.
Yeah, it felt like Boyd turned on the afterburners there to get to that ball before it hit the end line. Again, just impressive speed of that front line.
Ball knocked forward. Johnson just couldn't track it down. You will Play this back to the keeper, and again, probably didn't hit that as well as she would like, but because there was no other Racing Louisville product around her, it was good enough.
Yeah, that doesn't trouble Edwards in the back. She is one of the best technical keepers I've seen with her feet. That was a left-footed clearance from her, and she is right-footed. So I'll just let you know I would have never done that at her age. I was not that skilled with both feet.
By the way, a slew of changes for Racing Louisville. And again, at this level, you get that sometimes, like, hey, we're going to get you 45, we're going to get you 45. Trying to get, kids minutes during the course of the summer. So we'll get kind of some of these Racing Louisville changes on the fly to you. They have made 4 changes, including a goalkeeper change at halftime as well. Flag went up. So Hockey gives chase. Nothing else, you put the defender under pressure, but couldn't get to it in time. Hadley Snyder able to wall off Sahaki.
This is the aspect of the game that the 11 have done really well also, is putting this pressure on. We used to call it locking them in. You pin them back into their own defensive third there, try and just keep the ball in front of you, and good things happen like this.
Pilati, Pierce, Garza, and Teague all enter the match for Racing at halftime. Satterfield. Jadoin. Johnson couldn't keep that at her feet. Opportunity here. Indy kept a high line, and frankly, that ended up not mattering once the pass couldn't get connected by Racing.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Racing there. The quick transition, you saw how much success they had there once Indy 11 had committed some numbers forward and trying to win that. Those are the dangerous moments where they've just got to be careful and get bodies behind the ball.
Both Hendricks, Daly, and Lancaster, those that have subbed out for Racing Louisville. And frankly, Indy will get their squad rotation by playing again on Saturday. So you may see a bit of a different 11 come Saturday afternoon. Johnson has options both left and right, goes left. Jadoin, couple of touches, has a hit, doesn't get through. But it will be another corner, the 6th of the match for the girls in blue.
That was Grace Maddox that time, another Louisville player with the important deflection there, just able to recover right on time to Jadoin's shot. She was going far post with power.
It's a corner inbound here for the Indy 11, her first of this half. And Sahaki will take it right in front of door 13 and 14, as you can tell. This facility did host the Indy 11 Men's Open Cup debut this year, a 3-0 victory against the Des Moines Menace. Looking back post, cleared away. We joke about it being chilly outside tonight. Left-footed shot that won't be on target. Okay, that night it was in the 20s. We were really happy to be playing indoors on that night.
A great decision by the Indy 11 execs there. As you take another look at Jadoin there, and just Maddox able to get that thigh in there, gets the critical touch. That was going far post, and I tell you what, Jadoin can create a lot of power with not a lot of space.
Flag would stay down here. Here's an opportunity. Edwards in retreat mode. This is Garza trying to create something on the near side. Well, closed down by Kruger, but it will be a corner and the first one of the night for the visitors from the Derby City.
It's really good defending there by Matt Kruger, just as patient, keeps Garza in front of her, goes for the tackle at the right moment. You'll take a corner kick there. That's a win. Garza with the ball at her feet was very dangerous out there on that right side.
Courtney Jones will send it in for Racing. In traffic, couldn't clear it, and that is a goal. Racing jumps in front here in minute number 55.
Looks
Gibson.
Yeah, A.G. Gibson, the Louisville Cardinal there, able to finish it. It'll be interesting to see the replay. It looked like Edwards was in good position there to try and snag it. Not sure if it just ended up through. As you take a look.
Goal was scored by number 17.
As simple as that.
Yeah. Look like it's Grace Maddox there again. Another key play. She's the one that is on Edwards there, just distracting her a bit on that flighted ball across. Very tough to judge. Well finished by Louisville, though. That's what you have to do, is take those opportunities when they're presented, especially with those corner kicks.
All right, there's one of us that played 4 years of D1 soccer as a goalkeeper, and it's not me. So is that the right play, to try to play that with both hands and snag it? Or is she better served punching in that case?
I think she's perfectly capable of comfortably catching that. I'm not sure if Maddox maybe affected the jump a little bit. It almost felt like she was a bit behind it. Now, that is the advantage there to go either with the one hand. I always advocate the two-hand punch, parry it out of the way, as if you're unsure, you do want to go for the punch. You know, like I was saying, Edwards is a lot better than I was at this age. I'm going to trust her judgment there. Hindsight's 20/20, especially for goalkeepers, but I think it was a good play by Maddox just to impact the keeper. I'm not saying there was a foul committed there, but definitely a good distraction.
Boyd wins the battle, plays it across. Both players down after that collision, and this is not to go back and adjudicate a foul. This is to go back and make sure both players are all right. It was deemed that was a 50-50 challenge, and take a look for yourself.
That's a good call.
Chadoin, the player that was tangled up for Indy. Both players are up now. I think they're going to say that Racing had possession. By the way, this portion of the match is brought to us by Desnuda, 100% organic tequila. How real tequila tastes.
Rachel.
On the cutback, this is Guthrie. Guthrie on the cross. Chadoin plays it through. Satterfield. Guthrie's left foot. Spilled, but eventually taken care of.
Yeah, really optimistic, encouraging possession there by the 11. Guthrie gets involved. Chadoin gets involved on the weak side there. Sahaki almost able to finish the spilled groceries in front of the keeper there, but more encouraging. You like that response from the 11 after the goal. A good spell of possession ends with a shot on goal. Look at Guthrie's shot, and again, that left foot, a nice job of just touching it to that preferred side, finding the opening, puts it on frame.
So Indy now chasing the game, even though they've had the better play. It's been a little more balanced here in half number 2. Let's make sure we state that properly. But Indy has dictated tempo for most of the match, yet they're trailing it by a goal. Ball took a turn off a couple of different Louisville defenders.
No numbers up here. They got to get back.
Good play into space there for Racing. It's Trista Morris has the ball at her feet. And Edwards able to handle that one with ease. Kruer. Just a bit optimistic there. You may get the feeling that Indy might be in need of a couple of subs just to kind of freshen things up a little bit right now.
Just a bit. Obviously, we talked about all the subs Louisville made there at the half. Could those fresh legs potentially have helped on that goal? Yeah, absolutely. I think you're seeing just a little bit in the back line as well as some of those holding midfielders, just a little flat. Not necessarily in bad shape, just a little flat.
Opportunity here. Beating a couple of defenders. I think Indy would have rather have had the advantage there, but they will take the free kick. Well, we'll check on the injured player. That's Jadoin again. Well, for my money, she's been the player of the match so far for the Indy 11.
So far, yeah. Just look at the power, the strength, the control there on that run. Ends up beating about 3 defenders. Yeah, interesting to see. Potentially could have had a look there. You'll take a free kick as well. I'm sure Coach Kim would have liked to play that one out a little bit, but you've got enough talent on this team to utilize a free kick as well, try and make something happen.
Taylon Guthrie that will have the honors here. She setting up a teammate, or is she going for goal from this distance, Kristen?
I think you put this on frame.
Has a hit, but again, couldn't keep it on target.
They had some pace, though, I tell you what.
Racing does have a sub by the 4th official. Looking to check in. Morris looks like to be the player that will exit for Racing when given the opportunity. Cruer does a good job of steering that back in the attack. Satterfield couldn't maintain possession. Indy does have their first substitution that's about to enter the fray. And again, the argument from the Indy 11 is not the whistle. The whistle's very beneficial. It's not allowing the advantage to continue. That's the second time where Indy has been shortchanged an opportunity where they would rather have simply played on.
Yeah, especially when you're Chloe Breck, you've got the ball at your feet. We've seen her speed, we've seen her technical ability. That quick counterattack is where they've had success catching Louisville out.
So you will redirect. And corner.
It's a well-spent free kick there. You will take that, almost just advance the ball forward. I liked what they did on that last cross they had. Obviously wasn't a corner, that was a free kick from Sahaki, but look for a similar ball here, potentially far post, trying to find some of those taller targets.
Sahaki. Couldn't get a controlling touch on it inside of the 18, could Indy. Edwards had rotated a pretty far piece from the 18. Mills. Just kind of hit that to a spot, hoping a teammate could get there. Here's a moment. One touch, couldn't get a second. Now Brecht. Have a hit from distance, doesn't get through. And before that would turn into a corner, it turns into a throw instead for the Indy 11.
Excellent patience there on that possession. Passed up a few outside looks to try and find something inside. Keep possession of the ball, though.
Now the left-footed ball in. That again is loose and is sent home. Indy has got the leveling goal in the 64th minute. And Sahaki just buzzing around the net, steered it home.
After watching Risa Hockey the last couple years, I think you could not only describe her as a goal scorer, but definitely a scrappy, strong one. And that time it's Johnson with the dangerous cross, just mishandled by the keeper there, and Sahaki always there, never giving up, right place at the right time, able to just steer it home into the net for the equalizer.
Well, fittingly wearing the number 9, that was Eamon Zayed's number of the Indy 11 on the men's side back in the day. And until about a month ago, he was the leading scorer in the history of the Indy 11 men's team. And those to be referred to by the late Tim Hankinson as a poacher's goal. Just hanging around and knocking home. That's what Sahaki just did.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Hank knew what he was talking about. And I tell you what, sometimes the best forwards, they've got that poacher mentality. They might not be the prettiest goals, but they all count the same.
One of the OGs for the Indy 11, Jedder Chatterton, is going to enter the match, replacing Blair Satterfield, Noblesville product. Zembrot is in for Racing Louisville. And a little life has been injected here for the Indy 11 now that they have leveled the match. The left-footed shot does not get through. And foul called against the Indy 11.
Seems like just a 50-50 battle to me here. To me, I feel like that right there is the foul. Should be the foul on Louisville. You can't just lay on the ball and call it defending.
The only thing that I would have seen was that and this was not intentional.
Sure.
Johnson's boot was kind of behind the head, and at that point, you tend to.
More of a safety concern.
Even if it got there in an awkward position, you kind of go, all right, I need to blow a whistle and bring this to a stop. But your point is well made.
You're no fun.
Indy now on the front foot again.
I would argue they're almost keeping better possession in this half than they did in the first, just not creating the same opportunities in Louisville. Almost their one opportunity down in their attacking third, they really capitalized.
Two defenders dig in for Louisville. Well done for them to win back possession. But every time there has been just a momentary thought of, I can go get this. From midfielder defender, they have been up to the challenge. Kruer will shield away the oncoming attacker, and Edwards able to snag it quickly. This reminder, fans, to treat yourself to an elegant stay at the Renaissance, just minutes away from both Grand Park and downtown Carmel. Thanks to our friends, the Renaissance Indianapolis North Hotel. 3/4 of the way through this one. Goal apiece, both coming since the intermission. First of 3 meetings between these two. Second one comes up here on Wednesday, June 10th. Jadoin. Just a bit heavy on the touch. She is traversing some serious miles. Kruer, not a bad idea. Just charge forward, see if you're going to hit the timing and the seam properly.
And both Jadoin as well as Emma Boyd and Guthrie as well. You mentioned trekking a lot of miles. It's true. You'll see them tugging back into the midfield, being a part of that defensive stand. Next thing you know, you see them blasting forward, turning on those thrusters, getting onto a long ball.
And that should be a goal kick, and it will be. So, Kristen, what does the spring schedule look like for these players? Because, again, almost all are college players currently. What was their workload looking like coming into getting into camp with the Indy 11 in the last 10 days?
Well, they were in shape. I'll tell you that much. Spring season, very, very workout heavy, very fitness heavy. It's become more Plain Central. There's become more beefed up spring schedules, especially on the women's side, more invitationals, that sort of thing. But a lot of it is more time spent in the gym. NCAA limits your amount of hours actually training on the field. So they'll be in good shape. They'll obviously keep their touch and whatnot, but this is probably one of the better playing experiences and opportunities they will get in between the fall playing seasons.
Doing going to get
the
ball back in her direction. Free kick given to the Indy 11.
Yeah, I think Jajoyan might have gotten a favorable call on that one.
We're going to restart this again, looks like. So Indy has 2 subs available to enter the match. Let's see if that might be the holdup here. Opportunity on the counter here. We had reported Chatterton for Satterfield. That actually hasn't happened yet. It will happen at the next time players are whistled in. Flag goes up. And now that subs will take place. So now Satterfield will exit and Chatterton will come in.
Great last play there for Satterfield. Excellent defensive stand, and she has been impressive in her first debut here. I think we saw her getting forward. You saw her making some excellent plays on the defensive end as well, and that's kind of the difference between someone that's a really good club or high school defender and someone that can be successful at the next level is how many aspects of the game can you become a part of, and Satterfield showed this evening that she can be important on the defensive end as well as an implemental piece getting forward into the attacking third.
Elise May comes in, replacing Reese Sahaki. So Reese gets her goal, and now she's done for the night. May headed to play at Butler. Guthrie able to pivot and get on this one. Racing maintains possession. Chatterton. Some Louisville players asking potential handball outside of the box, but nothing doing. Well, thank our friends at AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. May. Ball sent in at the edge of the 6. Opportunity quickly directed on goal, sent backwards by Racing Louisville. Guthrie realizes the overlapping run. And Chatterton's got speed for days over there, even after dealing with some injuries during her college playing days. Jenna's up there with perhaps the most matches played in the W League for the Indy because he's played over such a long stretch of time for the team. Go all the way back to Edwards and hit the reset button here for the Indy 11. Chatterton trying to find May on the through ball. And again, Guthrie just playing that to a spot, see if a teammate could get there. Nothing doing.
No, not yet. You love the first touches, though, that you see from Elise May coming off the bench. She did a nice job of just 1-2 and finding that ball in to the box. It was really the most dangerous service we've seen in the last 10 minutes or so. So good to see her settling right in, making an impact.
Kruer. You know, as a soccer player, you're going to do a lot of contact. Kruer has no problem initiating set contact.
Yeah, she and Garza has been on her as well. They're going back and forth, and Kruer's had her hands full, but nothing dangerous so far coming off crosswise from Garza on that right side.
Bit of a giveaway by the Indy 11 here. Shoulder to shoulder. Now we'll go back.
Tough call there. I felt like that was a pretty equally matched tackle there. Guthrie just getting there a millisecond quicker.
Restart here and again. The goal for Racing scored off of a corner. Similar set piece opportunity here. Looking back post. Found target. Flag went up.
That's a great service in, though. That is exactly where you want to place a free kick from that position. You go opposite end, and it's deep enough to beat the defender, but high enough out where Edwards isn't going to come off her line to try and clear that out. That is just a perfect place ball there by Racing Louisville.
That was Smith who was the target. Frankly, that was a nothing ball that was sent in that time by Racing. Johnson. It was Breck that tried to play that back to the middle. She and Boyd not on the same page. And Jadoin has been everywhere for Indy. She has put in a shift in her first night in an Indy 11 uniform. Brecht just kind of left herself open for that second defender to get back to her. But now Kruer. And the kind words that we say about Jadoin apply to Kruer as well.
Yeah, she has absolutely put a shift in. Earned a bonus on that play right there. Garza trying to get around her. She has just been a pest on the back of Kruer. Well done. She just shields the ball. Easy for Edwards to come clean up. But it was the step or two that she used to beat Garza that impressed me.
I want to thank our friends at Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. You're starting to see a little bit of kind of looseness a little bit from the Indy 11 perspective. And again, with that, you've got a couple of players buzzing around the 6. Nothing comes of it yet for Racing Louisville. But you got to stay switched on for 90 minutes.
And that's obviously one of the big obstacles in one of these early on matches. Obviously the fitness level is there, but it's been a second probably since a lot of these girls have played a full 90-minute match. And so you might see some of those mental mistakes start to creep in here.
Space at the back for Indy to go to work. Can you get the cross away? Yes, one time, does not get through.
Textbook how you want that to go down, though. She beats the defender end line. A perfect service back right outside the 6. Just a better deflection and save by Louisville.
Trying to knock it out of the air that time was Boyd. Emma Teague, by the way, had the save. She's getting the second half 45 in goal for racing. Brecht, good win. May, good job to play that across to Chatterton. Chatterton trying to find a window with the left foot. A couple of touches there, and Teague out to track it down.
Very savvy play there by May. Has her back turned to goal, and you called it out. Able to recognize Chatterton on that weak side and continue the ball movement there. Great connected play there by May.
So Indy wants to get 3 out of this. Right now sitting on 1. We'll learn more about the other 2 teams in the league over the upcoming days. Again, Indy has a first match against Toledo coming up on Saturday. We expect the Dayton program to be far improved from what it was last year. Johnson. It's dispossessed. You on the read. Ten minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this one. Ball knocked forward, looking for a back post. One touch. Is there a second one? No. I think Teague will collect on the back end.
There's a spot on ball there by Johnson coming down the left side. Put it on a platter. Just unable to settle it down. A bit of a high touch there. Loses the opportunity.
Again, Brecht on the turn. And here's Chatterton. Able just to keep that ball in play. And earns the corner. As a reminder, fans, visit your local Central Indiana Ford dealer today. Ford, a presenting sponsor of Indy 11 men's and women's soccer.
It's a classy veteran play there by Chatterton. Gets stopped up on the attack and realizes best outcome here is just get a corner, bangs it off the defender, and they get a late chance out of this one.
Left-footed in swinger. Good looking ball. Had the moment. Crewer couldn't get ahead to it. Jadoin has a hit. Crewer takes a rip at it. 2v3 at the back. Indy throwing another defender there as well. Edwards off her line. Able to recover in time. Couldn't sneak it through. Now with some numbers going the opposite direction, can Indy launch a counter? Pass lofted like a wedge to find Guthrie. And a racing player coming up a bit gimpy in the midfield. And again, pro Indy whistle. Probably the advantage a little less obvious that time.
Yeah, Jadoin that time trying to come back. As you look at Edwards trying to take the clearance there. They're able to do enough to then get back and recover. It was an excellent defensive stand from there for the 11, and now back in the midfield trying to find an opportunity out of this free kick.
You saw that exasperated roll from the defender of the "oh no" roll, and nothing comes of it. Bouncing ball in, May tried to direct route one.
Again, it's a perfectly weighted ball in that spot where the keeper can't quite come out. Just can't get the foot on it just enough, but a well-played ball.
Chatterton, she's been her old self. It's coming into the match for Satterfield after the goal was scored. Good combination play here, Johnson. John's trying to draw as many defenders to her as she can. Well defended by Racing.
Great defensive stand there by Racing. Part of that was Indy 11 got almost too tight. Part of the advantage when you get into the attacking third is to use the width. Chatterton just a little bit tight inside, runs out of room to work with.
Been impressed with Breck tonight as well, Kristen.
Absolutely. I think she is not only a very, very solid defender, but someone we've seen multiple times get up into the attack, not just on the outside, but she's willing to play through the middle, carry the ball. She's an excellent player. We got to see her at Butler last fall. Great to see her with the 11 as well as the flag goes up.
Most everybody in the building kind of put a hand up on that one. By the way, our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time, presented by our friends at Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Foul on Guthrie. We have the same view that the referee had on that one, and you and I both nodded accordingly when we heard the whistle. One more Indy 11 substitution. Looks like going to wank her way to the fourth official. We'll see exactly how much time is going to be remaining once said sub comes on.
I think it's going to be Dardano, is who it looked like. One of Sahaki's teammates from Xavier, making her way to the, I guess it's not really a scorer's table in soccer, the AR, third referee.
Boyd. May will widen the attack to Guthrie. 87th minute. Sahaki the lone tally for Indy so far. Boyd. Johnson. Kruer. If you're trying to body up her, it is not going to work.
That was like a cartoon trying to watch like a rat run to the wall or something. Another nice job by Matt Kruer there, critically just defending the ball from Garza. You're going to see the 11 try and get a little bit more direct here, obviously chasing that game winner. You just don't want them to be almost too direct to where they waste the opportunity. Once you get that ball in the attacking third, be patient with your selection. Take your best shot.
Good win by Racing. Transitional moment here. Ball played forward. Edwards got big at the right time. Follow-up does not get through. Flag goes up.
Oh, give me the save. If I'm Edwards, I'm saying give me that save. Brilliant job, comes out, able to get herself down and make that critical touch. All for it to be offsides.
That was Pilati. So Dardano comes in for Guthrie. Our substitution tonight brought to us by Desnuda. Desnuda, 100% organic tequila. How real tequila tastes.
Entering the game is number 21, Brianna Dardano. Leading the game is number 17, Taylor Guthrie.
Great performance by Guthrie this evening as well. Another impressive standout of the new faces.
Ball crossed in, all the way through, and nothing achieved there.
I do think if there's one thing, you know, Indy 11 creating all the chances, it's positive, but the other thing is you're getting high-quality crosses.
Yep.
You know, you just have to find that last finishing piece. A lot of times you'll get the build-up right, maybe that cross is just of poor quality or it's out of bounds or, you know, it's a bit of a waste, but you do have to say they have put a lot of these services into dangerous positions, just haven't been able to find that final touch to the back of the net.
Kruer. We'll see with 2 goals and substitutions exactly how much additional time we'll have. We had 1 in the first half, maybe 3, I would say.
I think that's a good estimate there. Haven't had much but substitutes.
Before tonight's match is in the past tense. Opportunity here. Looking back post. There's a touch and then just couldn't go upper 90 on the near right side. Could the Indy 11 attacker.
Again, though, I think it's Breck that gets in there with the attack, and it's another service that challenges the keeper, takes her out of position. She's got to parry that. Again, you're in the right spot. Far post, ready for the rebound, just cannot find the back of the net there. All very encouraging things for Coach Brandon Kim.
2 minutes. 2 minutes is what we're going to have of added time tonight. Again, it's been largely a whistle-free, which has been great. Is there one moment of magic for either side in these last 100 or so seconds? Player down for Louisville, and we'll go back and check. It was Dardano that made the contact, committed the foul. Trainer out quickly to, I'm not sure if that was maybe just a kind of player turning into a shoulder or something along those lines, or
it looked like that was, it was similar to that. The ball was crossing the field, and I'm not sure if it was Mills or who it was that was on her there in the midfield. If it was Dardano, potentially, I think you're right, it was 21 there. Just looked like some inadvertent contact almost went down. If we take a look here, just trying to pressure. Oh,
yep,
yeah.
Head to head, yep.
That's tough. And it looks worse than it probably was there. It was almost like the defender slammed the brakes while Dardano was coming full force at her.
These 2 teams will see each other again in 2 weeks. That is the match that takes place down in Louisville.
You know, interesting wrinkle to the USLW and really the Midwest, this group and as a whole is both of these are very large rosters. You could see potentially a completely different team, completely different formation the next time you see them. So it's more so getting used to and recruiting the style of play versus individual players for each of these teams.
Entering the game is number 11, Molly Richards.
So Molly Richards will come on. The goal scorer, Anna Grace Gibson. So you would think that we're looking at a little more time.
Whew. Dangerous touch there. Gets it off, though.
Okay, that injury happened right at about a minute into added time. We probably will get to at least the 93rd, I would think, at this point. That was thankfully our really only kind of injury stoppage of the match. And again, we keep score for a reason. You want to win these matches, but we're trying to get these players better for their college seasons coming up in the fall. And that cross does not reach its intended target.
I think Emma Teague, the keeper here for Racing Louisville, got a great second half. She did a nice job on some of those more testy shots that Indy 11 was able to put on frame earlier in this half. Since then, she's just been solid, cleaning things up. Obviously gave up the rebound on the goal there, but after that, really tightened things back up for her.
Just saw a glance at the wristwatch. There is not much time left in this one. In fact, there is no time left in this one. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back and wrap it up next. The points are shared in the season opener. It's Indy 11-1 and Racing Louisville's W League Squad 1. Final thoughts when we come back to Westfield in the Community Health Network Event Center at the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus. You're watching on Sports Engine Play and the ISC Sports Network.
is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Droplight is a venture studio. We don't sit on the sidelines. We build inside the brand. From stadiums to festivals to the fastest tracks in the world. We turn brands into something people feel. Turning ideas into traction, partnerships into pressure, and momentum you can't ignore. This is Ignition. This is Droplight. Fuel for brave brands.
This game has gone final. Brandon Kim, Andy Swift, rest of the coaching staff. Going to have a talk with their team again. Lots to like, maybe not the end result, a 1-1 draw, but again, Indy did a lot of things well this evening. I want to thank a couple of sponsors that made it happen. Thanks to our friends at Desnuda. Desnuda, 100% organic tequila, how real tequila tastes, and by AES Indiana, accelerating the future of energy together. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley. She's your final thoughts on this one.
I think it's an encouraging opening first game for the 11 women. Obviously, you'd love to walk away with the 3 points here. But I think Brandon Kim is going to be happy with what he saw from this group out in their first 90 minutes. I think there's a lot of talent on this roster, and it's going to be fun to see how successful this team can be once everything starts clicking here in the next few games.
The Indy 11 are on the road now for the next 4 matches. First one was in Toledo. That'll be Saturday afternoon at 3. Next home match will be Sunday, June 7th at 6. Be sure you join us here at the Community Health Network Event Center and the Droplight Grand Park Sports Campus. For our entire ISC Sports Network crew, as well as Kristen Hazley, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us for Indy 11 Women's Soccer. Season 5 begins with a 1-1 draw. Good night from Indianapolis.